In this video, we're going to be taking a look at using the between and not between clauses. So let's take a look at our salaries table. And let's go ahead and do this where I'm going to do a count here. Let's make this a count. And I'm just giving you an example here where we have an and clause. And this is going to be effectively coming back with 265,000 records out of the database. And you can see what we can do is let's go ahead and reformat this. I'm going to copy the statement over. And what we can do is say where salary so we're going to say two values. So the syntax is between first value, second value, and we should get the same exact result back. 265, 379, 265, 483. So that's interesting. And what's going on there, I was expecting them to be the same, but then I realized I made a mistake there. And what I can do is make this greater than an equals and less than an equals. Now if I run it, so 265, 483, and run this one, 265, 483. So the between is going to be working like a greater than an equals to. So minor mistake on my part, but you can see that's always good to be validating what you're doing as you're working with SQL. So that's the expected result. Now we can also, let's take a look at our employees. Let's go ahead and run this. Now this between statement is also going to work for dates. So we can also use this for dates. So we're going to go 1954, May 1st, 1954. And we'll say 1953 here. I'm going to change that to 56. So we're going to be looking for a range of dates for this. And we'll go ahead and run that. And you can see that now these dates that are being returned for the birthdays are between these two date values. You can also say not between. So you can see we're getting different results there. So let's go ahead and verify this using count. I'm going to say count. See, we get 45,000 employees back like that. And we get a lot more because this is a fairly small date range. So what's that? 254,000 employees there. So these ranges are very functional, are very, very useful for you. And when you want a specific range, and I started off here on line 5 showing you the greater than less than, and then switch it to greater than equals to, so that we have the same values coming back. And that's how your between function is going to be working. It's going to specify a range of values. So it saves you, I think, using a syntax like this on line 9 is more readable to the eye and more expressive of what you're trying to do, where you want values returned between two ranges. It's a very powerful tool. I see a lot of people starting off with SQL. They'll write it more like line 7 because they're not comfortable, maybe not aware of using the between. But I think, personally, for my preference, I think between is more readable and more expressive of what you're trying to do with the SQL statement.